I am live. I haven't been live in a minute. And today I am doing my journal, my reflection journal. I'm on YouTube as well. So, what I am doing is just introducing you to the fact that I have a reflection journal. Now, I talk about scapegoats a lot because that's what I am. I am a scapegoat. I've been scapegoated probably from the time I was brought into, I live in Canada right now. From the time I got into this country, let me make sure that my microphone is on. I don't know if everyone can hear me, but scapegoats are a product of a dysfunctional family. So, what I did was as I was healing, I went through a lot of scriptures that just, they were the things that I needed to make sure that I got through a day. Because sometimes I needed a scripture to get through a day, right? So what I did, I don't think this is on. Give me a second. I don't see the light working. Hey, my thing is not working today. Well, I'm hoping people can hear me. I'm hoping you can hear me. My microphone is not wanting to work today. Well, I need to fiddle with it a little bit. Oh my goodness. There we go. Okay, the light is on. So I'm assuming it's working. So as I was going through my healing as a scapegoat, I went through scriptures and different ways of thinking. And those scriptures are what I put into my reflection journal, right? So what I did was give a download, precursor of what a scapegoat is. Like, people don't realize that the word scapegoat started from the Bible, right? The word scapegoat started from the Bible. And I'm just going to start reading what happened back then. And if this is something that you've gone through, or if this is something that you know will be helpful to somebody that you know, send them my way, because I deal with scapegoats and I encourage scapegoats, and I always go back to the Bible, right? So, first of all, a biblical scapegoat. In the Bible, the scapegoat is a central figure of the Leviticus 16 Day of Atonement, which is called Yom Kippur. And this ceremony is where one of two male goats was chosen by Lot symbolically to carry the sins of the nation. Think about that, right? In terms of a family. And he carried the sins of the nation into the wilderness, representing the removal of guilt. Again, think of a scapegoat and in terms of a family, and this is how it started. The thing to note here is that the goat had to be perfect, i.e., without blemish, and the high priest would confess the people's sins over the goat, which was then sent into the wilderness, which is what a lot of scapegoats end up being in after they leave the dysfunctional family. They end up going into a wilderness time so they can gather back themselves. This is very, very profound, and a lot of people don't realize that it's there. So, the key aspects of the biblical scapegoat, Leviticus 16. The ritual: the high priest would take two goats for a sin offering and cast lots. One goat was sacrificed to the Most High, and the other was designated as the scapegoat, which is what we have been designated as, right? If you're coming in, please push those hearts so that I can be longer on my lives. The symbolic transfer, the priest would place both hands on the live goat's head and confess all the iniquities and transgressions of the Israelites, transferring the sins to it, which is what happens to us as scapegoats as we live in our dysfunctional family. The wilderness. The goat was taken to a desolate or uninhabited land and released, carrying the sins away from the community. Like I said, when we as scapegoats leave our dysfunctional family, we go into a symbolic wilderness and we get rid of the sins of our family, basically, right? And the meaning is the ritual demonstrated the cleansing of the community, like I just said, and the total removal of sin, with the two goats together symbolizing both the atonement for sin, the sacrificed goat, and the removal of guilt, which is the scapegoat. And I got that from the internet. That didn't come just from my mind, although I knew it biblically. And there's also the psychological scapegoat. I'm not going to go into that. But blame can be a teacher, right? We can learn so much from blame, although it's hard. It's hard to shoulder this stuff that we've been dumped on. This stuff was dumped on. And like I said before, the scapegoat was chosen from a perfect goat, right? The person had to be without spot, the goat had to be without spot or blemish. The person that they choose in the family is not necessarily perfect, but they're the one who can see all the dysfunction in the family. They're the one with the ability to talk the truth, see the different patterns, right? So we, as scapegoats, we discern truth from manipulation. We recognize unhealthy patterns. We develop inner strength rather than relying solely on external validation. And we understand human complexity because of all the different stuff that we have been exposed to, and usually from very, very young, right? And we cultivate empathy, and we are picked on because we are so empathetic. So over time, the experiences that once caused pain can be a path towards wisdom and empowerment. So now in my journal, every single day, I include a scripture passage, a short meditation, guided reflection questions, a brief prayer, and space for personal journaling. I am a scapegoat. I am a scapegoat of over 45 years. I have to sit with that one for a second. I'm a scapegoat of over 45 years. And together with counseling, like I said, I use the methods in this devotional, in this book that I created, to help me through the difficult road to thriving that a scapegoat will walk. And I still reflect and journal every single day. I journal every day. I've been journaling for years, and I don't think that I will stop. This sort of thing, journaling, helped me to the path to thriving that scapegoats will walk. It's not a one and done. It's an ongoing thing. And it helps keep me grounded. The journaling, the reading of the scripture, the reflection. I can see where I've backtracked. So if I know that I journal daily and I will read something and I'm just like, something wrong here. I can go back and see where I started to get off my path that I'm trying to be on. So I memorize some passages. That's something that you could choose to do if you want to. And I am a trained life coach, but I am not a doctor. I'm a life coach. I am not a doctor. So I share what has worked for me in the past or what has helped me in the past. The goal is not to relive the pain, but to transform it into understanding, strength, and hope. Your story is not defined by blame, it is defined by how you grow beyond it. So, in my scapegoat journal, how I outlined it is there's a daily reflection, and you spend a few minutes every day reading the meditation and writing your reflections. And a weekly study is also included. You read several entries at once if you'd like to, or you want to read one a day. It's 31 days. And journal about the themes that you are experiencing or have been outlined for that day. And you can use this as a personal healing practice. When you have finished it, you can go back and revisit any part of it at any point in time. So I invite you to take your time while going through it. You can use it for a whole month, or you can spread it over months if you'd like, and write honestly through the whole process. Allow insights to emerge gradually and come back if you need to. And included, I have recorded 31 days. So it's an album plus the reflection journal. And it took a long time, but I am exceptionally proud of it because it's a labor of love. I've been recording for years. People know that I've spoken in the past, and I have recorded so many different things in the past, and this was a labor of love. So I invite you to check it out at solaceforscapegoats.com. The link is in the bio. And I'm just going to go through day one. And every day, as much as I can, I'm going to try and do a live so that I can get people to know that this is here and it's available for scapegoats. I have not found another scapegoat book that has biblical insights for people who have prefer to have some insights from the Bible. Yes, there's psychology and all of that, but the Most High gave us scriptures that can help us to go through our healing journey. So that's why I'm here. That's what I did. So day one is self-awareness through adversity. And like I said, there's a recording for this. There's a recording for every day. They're 5 to 6 minutes long. So it's a long album. And you just go through and you listen to it like you would a meditation, because it's meditative. It has the music and all of that behind it, right? So day one, the meditation for day one. We may not like to admit it, but painful experiences often force us to look inward. Being blamed unfairly can sharpen our self-awareness and lead us to deeper understandings of who we are, understanding of who we are. It's hard to say that, and I said it in the introduction. It's hard to admit that even though we were blamed for things, it actually strengthened us. It actually strengthened us. So that stuff that we went through, that hard stuff that we had to endure, it made us the person that we are now. I don't like to admit it, but if I hadn't gone through some of the crazy, crazy stuff, being betrayed by my own kids and all of that stuff, I would not be the person who will sit down and just write jingles or sit down and be that person that is I also have another thing that I do, which is writing children's books. And it may seem like they're not connected, but they're connected in that I'm writing books to empower children so that they don't end up being scapegoats. So I would not have gotten to that point if I had not gone through that. I'm just asking you guys, if you're watching me, just hit the like button so that I can at least get one like. If I could get 10 likes today, I would love that. So the things that we've gone through, those things have helped us get to be the person that we are now. Yes? So the reflection questions for this particular day is, when have you been misunderstood or unfairly blamed? And that for me would be all my life. That for me would be all my life. Yes? And that is a hard pill to swallow, but I've heard people say that the Most High gives the hardest battles to the strongest soldiers. While you're in the battle, you don't want to hear that kind of stuff. You don't want to hear, oh, you are strong and ting, ting, ting. You don't want to hear it. You really don't want to hear it. But unless there was something in you that was not great to begin with, that was not a gift to begin with, they wouldn't be fighting you. They wouldn't be trying to get you from your destination. All of that hinges on the fact that there's something inside of you that is great. As you're coming in, guys, just hit at least the one like. I want to get 10 likes by the end of this live. So if you are going through some hard stuff as a scapegoat, and you may not want to hear this, but it's because there's greatness inside of you. And I'm not trying to be boastful. I am trying to say things as it is. As I'm seeing people online talking about their experiences, trust and believe. The people who they came out of the bondage from their dysfunctional family, they're not doing anything to leave a legacy, except a legacy of negativity and pain and dysfunction. But you, as a scapegoat, have come to leave a legacy. You've come to do something greater. Yes? So we have to admit that the stuff that we've gone through is making us into the people that we are now. All right. So the next question on this particular day, which is day 1, is, what did the experience of being misunderstood reveal about your character? And like I said, this is not an easy book, but it will uncover things that you didn't realize that was inside of you. Right? You will uncover things that you didn't realize were inside of you. So the scripture for today, day 1, is, search me, O Yah, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. And that's Psalm 139, verse 23. And as you go through the days, you will see that there's a scripture verse for every day. And there's the stuff for you to write, as well as the stuff for notes. right? So I didn't put a note for every day, but there's more than enough pages for notes. I even have some at the back as well. And today's prayer is, Abba, I have been through so much. Please help me to understand my own heart and grow stronger in spite of adversity. Because we can grow stronger. In actuality, if you don't have anything that causes you to have any friction, you can't really grow. You can't grow from being constant. That's why when you look at the dysfunctional family, they haven't grown very much. They will, at the end, you will look back and realize they have not grown. If you come back in 3 years, you will see that the dysfunctional family is still in the same place that they were years ago. My family is still doing the same thing. Every July, they have a barbecue. Like they do the same things over and over and over again. They have not grown. They have not changed. They have not ventured out of their box. So when you come along as the scapegoat and you're like, well, what if we did this? And they're like, get back down. You're getting too big for your britches. Or if you question that you are being blamed for your brother or your sister's lack of doing the chores, or they came in late and you got in trouble for coming in 1 minute late. If you question those things, they're going to look at you crazy because they want everything to be the same all the time. And if it worked for you getting the blame, why would they want you to not get the blame? Why would why would they want you to step outside of that role? So all of that, all of those things help to make you that strong person. As much as you don't want it to be, that is what happens. Being the scapegoat helps strengthen you. Being the scapegoat makes you into that person that the Most High created you to be. Being the scapegoat makes you, I would say, unstoppable. I know it's not necessarily going to be, you go from point A, leaving the family, to being on your highest pinnacle, but you're going to get there. I think if you look at the statistics, and I don't know if there are statistics on how scapegoats have, survived and thrived or whatever. But if you look at the statistics eventually of people who have gone through adversity and have come out on the other end, you'll find that the statistics are high for them achieving. And for me, you got to believe that I'm fighting battles daily because the forces of evil don't want you to accomplish. Like I said, you have something inside of you. You have something inside of you, and they don't want you to arrive. They don't want you to arrive. I mean, you technically don't ever arrive, but they don't want you to accomplish anything great. I heard someone say that when the Most High has chosen you, trust and believe the devil has chosen you too. The devil has chosen, as you have a mark on your life as a scapegoat, and you have a mark on your life, because if you're a scapegoat, you're marked. The devil has marked you too. So I have my journal, my devotional, plus the audios that are available on my solaceforscapegoats.com site. If you go to solaceforscapegoat.com, it will route you to my coffee shop. But eventually I will have this available on like a Shopify site. But right now it's available on the coffee shop. Just go to solaceforscapegoats.com. It's available technically not technically, together with the audios. And when I do my lives, I'm aiming to get on live every day. It'll be available at a discounted price while I'm on my live. So I got my 10. I don't know who gave me the 10 hearts, but I got my 10. I am very appreciative of that. This is available. Now, I also, once a week, I'm going to also be coloring from my other. What I've done basically is what I'm aiming to do is help scapegoats recalibrate their nervous systems after being in the toxic relationship. So this is one part of that, and this is another part. This is called Mandalas and Munchies, and this is my coloring book and puzzle book. So it has word searches and coloring pages. Some of them are a little bit extravagant and others are simpler. Where's one of the simpler ones? And they all have a scripture verse. The word searches are all based on a scripture, and the coloring pages all have a scripture verse. Again, they are verses that, some of them are verses from this journal, but they're all verses to help scapegoats navigate their days. Because we have to face the fact that we are discarded, right? But that's not what's here. Inside of scripture, it says that the Most High catches our tears in a bottle. The Most High hears our cries. The Most High understands that we have enemies. The Most High has sent back all those negative things that have been said to us. Those things the people will be condemned. We have to go back and realize, because I deal in scripture, that there's scriptures that will help us, right? And I'm not a Sudoku person, but I have Sudoku ones here as well. Things like, there is hope for a tree, if it be cut down, it will sprout again, and that it shoots, it will not cease. These are encouraging scriptures that we need to put into our system so that we can continue, because our path is not easy. So that is what I have done with my site. I have literally put things to help scapegoats as they recalibrate their nervous system. Yes, there are all kinds of modalities out there, and those are good. I'm not saying that they aren't good. But this, putting the scripture in as well, that is something that, like I said, I believe I'm the only one doing it. So that's why I have created these things. That's why they're here. So this was my live, and I'll be aiming to go live again tomorrow. I keep a lunar Sabbath, so not tomorrow, but Thursday I'll be live again. And while that live is on, these things, my reflection journal, will be on sale during the time of the live. Afterwards, it's still there, but it won't be discounted. Every day that I go live, this will be discounted during the live. So I invite you to take a look before the live. Thursday, I believe I'll be doing it at the same time. Depending, I may have to have some dental work done, but I'm still aiming to go live in spite of the dental work. So thank you so much to whoever gave me the 10 hearts. I am so appreciative of it. And you can go up there and join my channel. And I thank you for coming on live with me. This is Sambuka, aka Mama Sam, and I'm Mama Sam because I also do the children's stuff. I'll talk more about that at another time, but like I said, they're connected. They're connected. And as you listen to the different videos that I put out, I'm going to be talking about proximity and how staying with the dysfunctional family, as you have children, as you have offspring, that proximity can be detrimental. That is actually something I'm going to talk about over and over and over again. People are saying things like, oh, it's their grandparents and all this wonderful. It sounds good. It sounds good. But I can tell you, as a person who regrets exposing my own children to my dysfunctional family, as a person who regrets exposing my own children to my dysfunctional family, this is something that I now have to bear. Because I didn't tell my children about how badly my parents treated me. I thought, okay, they're my parents. I have to honor and respect and all this stuff. Acknowledging the fact that my mother hates me. So, what will my mother now tell my children but anything to get my children away from me? So, I'm going to be talking about proximity because I've lost my children because of it. I've lost my children because of it, because I allowed my parents around my children. So, for people saying, oh, it's their grandparent, absolutely not. So now my goal is to encourage parents to teach their children to be strong and to see the dysfunction, talk about the dysfunction before it gets to the point where the grandparents have poisoned the children against their own children because they hated their children in the first place. And trust and believe that narcissists will go as sleeper cells undercover for years until children are at the point where they could be infiltrated, whether they be spending weekends at the grandparents or whatever, and they will start talking negatively about their children because they hated their children in the first place. So, this idea about it's your grandchildren and it's your grandparents, you have to no, absolutely not. Proximity will always show up, whether it be tomorrow or years down the road. That proximity will show up, and you will be the one that is suffering because of it. So that is why I'm also Mama Sam, because I'm creating the children's stuff to inform children about the early things. And again, it's I'm this shade, so it's for my people, but also to help empower them with affirmations and stuff so that when people come and say negative things, whether it be their grandparents, their auntie, or whatever, they can come back and say, absolutely not. My mama said, blah, blah, blah. I am the head and not the tail. I am this and not that. I want there to not be children, whether they're grown or young, that have gone through what I've gone through, losing their children because of proximity. So that is why I am Stephanie Sambuka, which is my stage name. I was born Stephanie. I don't go by that much anymore. Sambuka, aka Mama Sam, because I do the children's stuff. And yes, I already have children's books that are already out. So if you look up Mama Sam, you will find actually Google said that I had a popular children's series. And I was like, my bank account doesn't say that, but I'm gonna go with it. So that is it for this live, everybody. I thank all of you who joined, and I thank whoever, like I said, gave me those 10. Next time I'm going for 25. So this is Sambuka, aka Mama Sam. Until next time, Salembe. Bye bye.